Good day. Thank you for joining us for the program Evidence this day. Today we are talking about several issues. We shall talk about the newly created Northwest-Southwest Peace Movement that has been put in place in order to fast-track the process of dialogue to resolve the Anglophone crisis. We shall equally talk about the postponement or the adjournment of the trial of Ayuk Tabe Jilos and others to the 29th of March this year. This was at the Yaoundé Military Court with reasons given that the presiding judge had been transferred from the nation's political capital to Yaoundé. Among other issues, we shall equally talk about the arrests or the frequent arrest of people that have been speaking out as far as the Anglophone crisis is concerned. I am Dominic Kimo. Stay with us. Welcome once again. We are receiving Abdul Karim Ali. He is a Muslim scholar of the Bible based in Bamenda in the northwest region of Cameroon. Thank you for coming, sir.
Thanks for having me, Mr. Dominic.
It's nice having you here again after a while. You remember you attended this program and later then you were arrested. Can you tell us more about when you were arrested and equally why you were arrested by security forces?
Okay, let me begin by praising God and ask Him to send His blessings and peace upon His messengers and righteous men and women who've lived. Rabbi Shali Sadri wa Yasili Amri wa Khulul Uddatan min Lisani Yafqahu Qawli. That in Arabic says, oh my God, expand my breath for me, clear the impediments on my tongue, make my task easy so my audience can understand. Moses, peace be upon him, did this supplication in the Quran chapter 20 when God asked him to go and release asked Pharaoh to release the children of Israel. So today I think I'm in more need of such a prayer. Coming to your question, yeah, the what we call arrest could be the wrong word, because arrest should follow a procedure, right? Presentation of the warrant and so on. No, so I would say it was an abduction. Though to be fair and to be pretty honest, the officers did not molest me. They were not even rude. They did not molest me. I didn't face any kind of molest except for the abuse of my right of sleeping in the house that day. So the reason, I don't know the reason. They didn't tell me any reason.
That's a little bit funny there.
Yeah.
Did they question you, asking some questions about some particular issues?
No. They didn't question me, not at all. They didn't even take a statement. But they searched the house. They went to the house. They searched it. They searched the office. They didn't. However, when I prayed at 8:30, the inspectors, some of the inspectors that were supposed to work on the night shift, they recognized me and decided to have a chat. This wasn't an interrogation. They just wanted to talk with me. They have their opinion about what they call the Anglophone problems, what I refer to as the Southern Cameroon problem. Yeah, so we had conversations, and one of them actually pulled out one of my, the last interview I granted Mimime for them.
Okay.
He pulled out and said, but look, you know, things like this, maybe you calling Southern Cameroon, he wasn't sure is the issue. So people have also speculated that probably my outings, based on invitations that I received from media organs, and maybe the vocality on this matter, especially with the pronunciation of the word Southern Cameroons. So it was a speculation, but I have this to reply to. And I told the officer, why don't I have the right to call it Southern Cameroons? That is the name that it has. If anybody has the moral right to say La République du Cameroun today, I challenge them to explain to me why I don't have the right to say Southern Cameroons. Don't forget, La République du Cameroun, after having her independence on January 1st, 1960, came into a union, a federated union with Southern Cameroons. Both of them extinct their old names, Southern Cameroons and La République du Cameroun, to enter into a union that brings them a new name, the Federal Republic of Cameroon. And that is when we Southern Cameroonians had the right to own the La République national identity card. For you to have one, you had to be under La République du Cameroun that had their independence from French Cameroon. You could not have it as a Southern Cameroonian. What gave us that legality was the federation. Dubiously, some years later in 1972, the name was changed from Federal Republic of Cameroon to United Republic of Cameroon. Get the point? We're still going. We've done the old names. And then with the extinction of old names and entities have gone. We are now a new name, a new entity. But what happens in 1984? President Biya changed the name back to La Republique du Cameroon, not to a new name, but to his name that he entered the new union with. Why don't I have the right to say Southern Cameroon is the question? And I challenge anyone to come on a debate and explain to me why someone in this union has the right to say La Republique du Cameroon, and then I don't have the right to say Southern Cameroons. And funny enough, today, when you call it La Republique du Cameroon, some people get angry. I said, is that not the name of your country?
That is the name. Now, you mentioned that was the discussion that you had with the policemen. There was no formal interrogation on your person. But don't you think that perhaps it's because of your media outings talking about the situation in the southwest, northwest of Cameroon that prompted your arrest, what you call your kidnapped?
Yeah, I don't really call it kidnap. I say abduction. Well, let's assume that is the case. I mean, you journalists, you teach me that news is what is not more than 1 kilometer away from you, which means what happens around you is what is news. That is the most important news. People are dying every day. My relatives, my people are suffering, thousands in the jails, exile and everything. Houses are being razed, villages are being razed by the military. And then you don't want us to talk about it. What do you want us to talk about? Please, I need someone to tell me what other subject is there. And funny enough, go to Southern Cameroons, go to Bamenda, go to Boya. You see people living in their own cages. Nobody speaks on the street. Everybody is suspicious of one another. You say the truth, you're being taken to be jailed. I told the police, I said, when you kill the moderate voice, you're giving room for the violent voice. What has radicalized thousands was the silent voice and the moderate voice of people like Barrister Bala, gentle and subtle voice. They presented a case and they were locked up. What do you give room for? You give room for violent voices. When you stop people from talking, people will act. And the logic is this: when you deny two people from debating and dialoguing on a subject, you're actually telling them to fight. Period. So we will have to talk about it, and I'm not apologetic about this. If I had anything to hide, I wouldn't go on TV and on radio to speak it. TV is not my house, it's not anybody's house, it's a public platform. What people should do, come on, see what a journalist does to President Trump. Does he ask for his arrest? Debate him, prove him wrong. This is my case. Prove me wrong. Don't try to take me off my point. What you should do is prove me wrong. Prove me wrong, and then I will stand corrected and apologize. If you don't, you're committing what they call in argumentation the fallacy of straw man, which means you have no case.
Now, after your arrest and subsequent release, since then, what has been your relationship with the police again? Have they been monitoring your activities again, or do you see some signs that they are after monitoring what you are doing as far as the talking, the actions as concerned the Anglophone crisis is concerned?
Well, that's what they do, but really I don't have any skeleton in my cupboard. I'm not a violent person, I'm not a criminal. If freedom of speech is a criminal act, that is fine. Though I know that freedom of speech belongs to the strong and powerful class, the elites of CPDM and so on. When I speak the truth or somebody else speaks the truth, they call it hate speech. So the same speeches belonging to different classes have different titles. Just like terrorism is the violence of the weak people. If you beat me and I retaliate, it's terrorism. But if you beat me and I don't retaliate, it's called war. So terrorism is the violence of the weak, while war is the violence of the strong. This is the bad politics that is killing the world. So much so that we don't even know where we're living. So I don't care if they are monitoring me. In fairness and in a just cause, nobody has anything against me because I'm not a criminal. I'm not a criminal. But if it comes to matters of truth, we have to say it. This is the only thing I should be glad to die for.
We are talking about the fact that you were arrested arbitrarily. This week, the UN State Department may publish a report about human rights activities in Cameroon of the year 2018. They mention about arbitrary arrest, detention without any case by the Cameroon government in the year 2000. How do you appreciate the report given by the US State Department as far as human rights violation is concerned in Cameroon?
Why is America the best country in the world? That is a fact. They are the strongest country. The only difference between the weak and the strong is information in the real sense of it. America has information. You see that document they produce? It's a document filled with products of findings. That document is accurate. And when America takes its time to publish, when the United Nations takes its time to publish ills of a country, trust me, they're serious and they know what is happening. You know, people think you can do everything and get away with it. This is not the time. Information flies like hell. And is that not true of this country? Is there not human rights abuse of the greatest order? Human rights and human international rights is abused every day, especially on the people of Southern Cameroonians. Mr. Meme, we are being killed like dogs. We are being treated like dogs and pigs. But we don't have even the right to speak. That you burn an old woman and you expect me not to talk about it. But Obama Enes can sit in Yaoundé and call all of us rats and ask for the government to enact genocide, which they are doing, and nobody has even rebuked him. He's not been called for even a simple interview, not to talk of an interrogation. And a so-called administrator who eats fat from the soil of Southern Cameroon call us and our parents dogs. We don't have the right to respond to it. So this is the case, and the world is watching. United Nations is watching. America is watching. Even France, which is the saddest news of Africa. France is the saddest news of Africa, in my opinion. They are watching, and they report, and more serious reports will come about this. So it's a good call that the world is watching and noticing these things. And trust me, the time is up. The cup is to the brim to many people in this country. That's
what I was about asking you, because many people will say that these observations have always been there since 2016. United States of America says this, condemns this, UN condemns this, that. The killings, the kidnapping is still on. So some people say they are fatal with all these speeches. They want actions.
Yeah, sure. Nobody can usually fight your battle for you more than you could fight for yourself. But you know, these are international relations. There's a public relations part of it. There's a diplomatic part of it. They give you a long rope. They try to advise you at the back, like the U.S. Ambassador would do to President Biya. Say, think about your legacy. And then a clown comes on African media and threatens him to go back to his country in a coffin, which nobody rebukes. You threaten an international diplomat. Nobody has rebuked that guy for it. So they give you time, and you think that maybe your head is so much above water that no fish can see your leg. No, they are watching, and trust me, the time is up. And even if they don't, the creator will.
Yeah. Thank you so much. We talk about the postponement or the adjournment of the case of Ayuktabe Julius. They were taken from Nigeria to Cameroon. That was last year. The court case had been dragging on for so long. This time again, the case was adjourned to the 29th of March. That is going to take place on the 29th of March at the military tribunal in Yaoundé. The information, the reason they are giving is the fact that the presiding judge was transferred from the military court in Yaoundé to Buea, which means they are going to restart the case from square one. Does this affect the verdict that was given by the Abuja High Court for the return of these persons that were taken from Nigeria to Cameroon? Does the adjournment again and the postponement of the presiding judge affect the fast delivery of such a verdict in Cameroon?
Oh no, not at all. As a matter of fact, they can adjourn it till thy kingdoms come. Look, this tells you exactly the dichotomy between two systems: the British man and the so-called French man. You see, La République du Cameroon has assimilated and also inherited what they call the civil law. It's taking them forever to establish identification of plaintiffs, of accused. Okay, it took Nigeria 2 sittings to say, look, return these people. That is common law. You see exactly why the reasonings are different. You see why our lawyers came out in 2016, because you don't understand such law. It is taking forever, switching back and forth, which will not help, but it took 2 sittings. And they are very unequivocal about it. Return these people. And it will not even affect that judgment. Trust me. That judgment has been done. It has been certified. It has been served to the Nigerian government. And Abdul Orok, one of the lawyers defending Sisiko Ayuk and the rest of his cabinet members, has said that Nigeria will be bent to ensure that that ruling is followed to the latter. So, look, La République du Cameroon is making a very, very big mistake, thinking that they are taller and wiser than everyone. They are not bigger than everyone. Their military is even ranked not amidst the first 10 in Africa. Not their economy, nothing. What they have are bunches of thieves who all are in the jails. So that's what they have. They are making a big mistake, thinking that they can take people for a ride. But this is the mistake they do. The more they do this, the more we dig history. And the deeper we dig, the darker history gets for them. When we dig, you find elements in history that will now tell you that in April 1962, that is when we lost the British pound sterling as a legal tender for Southern Cameroons. And they bought it with France, duping our people, and that is when pauperization started. Pauperization is a process of making a group of people permanently poor. When you dig further, you realize that Victoria was founded in 1859. Victoria was founded in 1859. So when people tell you, let's go back to the Germano-Douala conferences, you now tell them when Victoria was founded. It predates the coming of the Germans. So when you dig more, the darker history gets for them. If I were them, I would stop this thing now.
Now, many people argue that Cameroon is a sovereign state, which means that a court in Abuja cannot command the country on what to do with people she has arrested.
It's a sovereign state, but they have ratified international convention. But so how does their sovereignty permit them to go and steal human beings from another country? I'm asking, where did they abduct Sisiko Ayuk Tabe and the cabinet from? In Yaoundé? In Ebolowa? No. In Nigeria, in Abuja, in the capital city of another sovereign state. And they're telling you to return these individuals. Because according to the law you ratified, an international convention, we don't even have an extradition policy with you. And if we did, we need to judge the accused to be sure that what you're accusing them is correct. Because they are under, how do you call it, refugee status here. They are filed for asylum. And we've granted them. So they are legally residing here. If there's anything you want to know about them, you should be talking to us. You don't steal them at night. Keep them incommunicado for 7 months altogether. It doesn't happen. What sovereignty are they talking about?
As the case of Ayuk Tabe, Jilo Sisiko and the others drags on, the killings, the brutality, the war, the violence is still on in the northwest and the southwest region of the country. So many commissions have been put in place in order to resolve the crisis, yet none of them have not been able to find that particular cure to bring about lasting peace. This week again, we notice a new commission have been put in place, not really a commission, but this time a movement. It is called the Northwest Southwest Peace Movement. It has been put in place by some individuals, by some parliamentarians of the CPDM party. We have Honorable Enwe Francis and the former parliamentarian Honorable N.N. Bile. Those are the frontline leaders of this particular movement. They say their mission is to ensure that there is a ceasefire between the two warring factions, that is Amazina boys and equally the military. Abdul, I want you to react on this particular commission that have been put in place, Northwest Southwest Peace Movement. How feasible do you think it can exercise its function of calling for a ceasefire?
No, but you just said honorable this, honorable that. Please, what makes someone honorable?
They're members of parliament in Cameroon.
The inability to defend your people, the inability to stand for truth, the inability to even face justice.
Let's talk about the peace movement itself.
Yeah, so please use their name, and you can add Mr. in front if you care, but not honorable. This is so
they are members of parliament in Cameroon, so that is the
okay, that is the title
they give to them. They are members of parliament.
But am I under law to call them so? So I'll call them Mr. Enwe, you said, right?
Well, Francis.
Mr. Enwe Francis. It's a shame. The only honorable member of parliament, the only person who understands why he is a parliamentarian, the only person who knows that people asked him to represent them and not himself and his stomach, his name is Honorable Weber Joseph. He spoke in the same parliament and challenge anyone to contradict him. He gave facts, figures, rhetorics, talking about molestation and subjugation of a group of people. None of them stood by him, none of them, not even to confirm that what he's saying is true. Rather, they connived and put an order on his head for his arrest. Till today, we don't know where Honorable Wiba is. We heard he's in UK, but we don't know where he is. None of them supported him, none of them even called him to congratulate him. And now they want to, and most of them denied that there wasn't an Anglophone problem. That's how they call it, Anglophone problem. They denied that it didn't exist. And after 3 years, you come up with this. This is a shame. And they're talking about peace. I want to ask them, how do they achieve peace? They want a ceasefire. They need a peace commission to cease fire. Who started fire? Their party started fire. So they don't need to tell us that they are creating any peace commission.
Yes, you mentioned you're right. You say their party started the violence. So the same militants of that party want the violence to stop.
So what's our business? Why are they calling it Northwest, Southwest?
The reason they are giving is all the members of that particular community are drawn from the 13 divisions of the Northwest and Southwest. That's why it's called the Northwest Southwest Peace Movement.
Well, they can call it what they want, but it's a CPDM movement, and CPDM does not need Northwest and Southwest. They can sit there in Yaoundé, have their meetings and cease the fire, and that's what we've been calling. If that is their objective, they want to stop killing us, that's fine. That's what you've invited me here many times on Newsroom and many other civil society activists and some other even honest politicians. What has everybody said? Ask the regime to cease fire. If that's what they want to do, fine. But if they want to come and provoke us the more, they should know that God is watching. What we need them to bring to us is a justice commission. And a justice commission would not even start with us. It again is in Yaoundé. And for justice to prevail, they need to go back to the root cause of these problems. The root cause of the Southern Cameroon problems. It didn't start in 2016. It started from the Union. You can even predate the Union from the day the right of Southern Cameroons to be independent by its own was taken by Britain and France through their coup. That is where they have to go to. They should not provoke the already suffering people. I know that what they want is their normalcy. They don't have so much money as they used to have.
What do you refer to their normalcy?
That's what they call peace. Their normalcy. Things, business is not as usual for them. Most of them cannot go back to their villages. They don't have enough money for bribe. You see, most of them, their belly have gone back to level. They don't have all these means anymore. So they want things to go back to normal for them. They don't really care about us. Ask either all of them, have they been to the refugee camps? Have they been to the bushes? Some of them will tell you we went to the prison. Go to the refugee camps. Go to the bushes and see these women put into bed. Come to the street, go to that place they call Ground Zero, see people dying every day. Go there and talk. Don't sit here and tell us about any mini mini more. What you call Tumbu Boss Calabash. That's what they are doing. What they forget to know is that the time is up. And I feel sorry for those that will be used by these so-called politicians. I feel sorry for those that will be used by them. There is the need for just commissions, and just commissions should have the right modus operandi by starting to talk with Yaoundé. Don't provoke the already suffering people. All these guys, to be honest with you, Mr. Meme, they want to be noticed, they want fame. Some of them are still looking for government positions. I've been trying to do so since 2012. They are still looking for it, and we say that you don't need to lean on us. Don't try to take us off our point.
Maybe before we end that particular point, your own opinion, what is the way out?
Mr. Meme, I'm sure this is about the 1,000th time one is saying it, right?
We keep saying it until there is a way out.
The way out. Release all the leaders of Southern Cameroons, number one, and their cabinet. You can see clearly, when we say this, it hurts people. But since the arrest of these people, have things escalated or not? I'm asking.
Escalated.
It's escalated. Release them. Release all in connection to this. Call your army to cease fire. Okay? Demilitarize the zone. Mr. Meme, we are terrorized in Southern Cameroon. Machine guns and armored cars floating all over us. Killing every day. The lack of freedom of expression. We cannot express ourselves because someone would tell someone in French, they will abduct you in French, keep you in French, and send you to Yaoundé in French, and then to jail, all in French, without understanding them at all. They need to do that, and then look, dialogue is different from debate. When you're dialoguing with someone, you simply have varying ideas, but you're looking for a common goal. But now I say they need to sit on a debate and negotiation tables. Why do I say so, Mr. Meme? The game has changed. People have died. When people die, you don't dialogue anymore. You have to debate these issues clinically with respect and fairness, and then negotiate. Whatever terms you come to, but you've got to negotiate. That is the least they can do. And then I'm expecting that the government of La Republique would say, the people of Southern Cameroons, we are sorry. They have to say that. They have to apologize. They have to apologize.
If you're just tuning in, this is Evidence. We are receiving Abdul Karim Ali. He is a Muslim scholar of the Bible. We just mentioned that he's a Muslim scholar, which means he has a lot of knowledge as far as the holy book of the Islam is concerned, that is the Quran. Abdul Karim, we understand that recently the Minister of Territorial Administration in Cameroon, Paula Tanganji, used the holy book of the Muslim, that is the Quran, for some Muslim faithfuls in the Damawa division of the Damawa region of Cameroon to swear for them to assist the government in the process of bringing an end to frequent cases of kidnappings in that part of the country. You wrote an open letter to the Minister of Territorial Administration, Paula Tanganji, decrying a series of issues as far as the use of that particular book is concerned. What exactly did you tell the Minister of Communication in that open letter?
Oh, thank you for that.
Minister of Territorial Administration.
Yeah. Thank you for that. And one thing I want to just one thing, because I forgot, let me just drop it. For these people who say they are creating the Peace Commission, because you hear their writings, they keep saying Lord has done that, the Bible has done this, and they keep quoting the Bible out of context. They should refer to Proverbs chapter number 21, verse number 3. God tells Solomon clearly that justice is better than putting yourself on sacrifice. That you have to do justice. Forget about sacrifices that you want to do. Just be just. They should read that. And also Jesus Christ made very strong assertions to that in Matthew 23:23. He says the Pharisees are hypocrites because they leave the most important part of the law and they focus on the small one. Which is the most important part according to Jesus? He says justice and fairness. You strain at the gnat, but you want to swallow the camel. Okay, that is it. Yeah, back to your question.
What did you tell Paula Tanganji?
Is this my camera? Yeah, I told him to begin with, Mr. Tanganji, he doesn't have the moral right to touch the Quran in that context. He doesn't have the moral or theological right to cause any Muslim to take an oath with the Quran. Even I sitting here, it's not all Muslims that will commit me to take an oath with the Quran. You need to be a man of high spirituality that I respect for you to say, okay, Abdul, we need to take an oath for me to take. The Prophet is very clear in his collections of his saying, Al-Tirmidhi as well as Sunan Abu Dawud, that we should not swear in any other name except the name of Allah. And it says best for you is never to swear to begin with. I feel sorry for the ignorant few that were being used by this man because they brought him the Quran or they allowed him to even bring it. These were imams and lamidos. He doesn't have the right to cause them to swear by the Quran. Are the Muslim communities the only communities facing crisis in Cameroon? Why has he not taken the Bible and go to cause Christian communities to swear? Why is it just with the Muslims? But he's not wronged Abdul Karim. He has wronged the creator of the heavens and earth. And I'm asking him till today to apologize to the Muslim community and to repent to Allah. If not, he'll be humiliated by the creator. I'm very serious about this. And Muslims are hearing me all over the world. No non-Muslim has the right to cause you to swear by the Quran.
But Abdul Karim, he did not force them to do so.
That was forcing. Did you watch that video? Did he ask the permission? They are here. I'm quoting him. They know that when they say something in front of the Quran, they are bound by it. Come on, what do you call force? What do you call under duress? You know, I simply put you under a very serious condition, but Muslims should not succumb to such. They were coerced to that. He pushed them to the wall to that. That was a serious coercion, and we don't need that. He has to respect Muslims, these politicians. Islam is not part of that. You need to respect us. You need to extend your hand, we will shake it, but first you need to respect us in humility.
Thank you so much, Abdul Karim, for coming to share your thoughts and your views as far as several issues in Cameroon are concerned. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Mememe. Allah continue to bless you with all this, and may God correct us. Where we've made mistakes, may He forgive us, and those that don't want to repent, may He cause them to repent.
Thank you so much, and we are thanking all of you who watch us this day. We received Abdul Karim, a Muslim scholar of the Bible, talking about several issues that cut across the judgment of Ayuk Tabe Julius, the use of the Quran, and equally how he was arrested or adopted and then later released by security forces in the northwest region of Cameroon. We are thanking you for watching. I am Dominic Memengwa Kimo. Have a nice day.